All right. What's going on? Mate, we keep losing subs. That's another 5 down. We got to 1365 again. Now we're down to 1360. I didn't even look. Just seen it then because of the... Fucking hell, mate. How can I not notice these things? Bunch of flogs. Oh, nice, bro. Well done. What's going on, Joel? How are you? All right. So, what we're doing... Which one did I put it on? This one? This one? This one. Yep. What's going on, Gran?
Hello, mate. Good. What we doing?
About
Here in the UK.
gonna watch 420. Nice. We're gonna watch the Suzuka video. He doesn't seem proud of it. We'll have a look at it.
10:20 p.m.
We had a lot of problems getting this video done. Right. Oh, fucking hell. I need a fucking better chair for when I'm doing this so I can not have me neck turned. Alright. So what do we need? This and this. Bring it up to 1080. HD. Mwah. Chuck it up for use there. Transfer it across. Thank you. Right, hang on. I've got to get the sound coming. Hang on. Who's talking to me? Hang on. I've got to sort this out. I don't have sound yet. Display capture, properties. Oh, because I'm only doing display capture. You fucking muppet, that's why. So I've got to do like browser capture instead. What's that, guys? No, not rename. Remove. Yes. Go away. Okay. And then we want to add browser. Browser 2. Fucking, why is this being such a pain in the ass today? I should have set this up before, but the missus was adamant on watching the rest of Raw. I was pretty over it by then. But I'm trying to get the fucking... Where's my browser then? What's that one? That's the subs. Video capture, VLC, window capture. Yes. Yes. Add existing. Window capture 2. Yes. Yes. Okay. There we go. There we go. Properties. Capture method. Where's the sound? Capture cursor, client error. And it's come up there, so it should have sound.
Get into that shortly. But here are the championship standings. It's a bit early in the season to look too far into this.
Sorry about that.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7, back to TransAm for Season 5, Round 3. It is finally time. I sincerely apologize for how long this video has taken. We'll get into that shortly. But here are the championship standings. It's a bit early in the season to look too far into this, but Jester and Artsy leading
Kev,
the way quite close on
I
points.
didn't think it was
so
that
we'll
great
see how
though,
that
mate.
continues to play out. Unfortunately, we don't have Ando.
The best bit about it was Hulk Hogan getting booed
this
out of the
round
building.
after he dominated the previous round. I think it's fair to say at the Red Bull Ring with a triple star, and in fact we're missing Gren and Ash as well. So a lot of very fast drivers not here, as well as John Tita, who we're still yet to see this season at all. But on the plus side, Joken is back. And we've also got Wolf back, who we haven't seen since Season 1. So, few returning drivers from the distant past of TransAm as of late. But anyway, let's see how things pan out in qualifying while I go off on a tangent and explain a bit about what's happened with this video. So, because when we finish the race, the 2-hour race that we have coming up, I wasn't able to save the replay. I didn't have enough space, so I had to record replays using the share play feature on the PlayStation, essentially meaning I was watching the replays that Jester saved and recording from there. But I had to use a capture card, and I didn't know that if I had my headphones plugged into my controller, the audio wouldn't record on the capture card. Just a weird quirk of how it all happens. But anyway, so unfortunately the replays don't have audio, is the long and short of all that. But anyway, at least we do have replays, and I might just add some, I don't know, music or something else, just so it's not completely silent while we're going through replays. But anyway, as we're heading through our qualifying lap, it has started raining on our second flyer. Our first flyer was no good. I had to bail out and let someone through, I think, if I recall correctly. So yeah, that ruined our first flying lap. But anyway, I also forgot to mention we have Porsche racing with us for the first time. But anyway, as we carry on, this lap's basically a write-off because of the wet conditions towards the end. But we'll bring it around anyway and see what we can do. It might help us out somewhat. But yeah, it's not looking too good. I mean, we're driving the Plymouth Superboat, so you know, qualifying's never going to be good in this car, let alone the race. But it's a tradition at this point. I have to drive it at some point in the season. So we come across the line and we remain at P7, but we do improve on our lap and actually get a somewhat representative time in. Anyway, that's where we finished up in qualifying. P7 ahead of Artsy and Heafy, and of course Jokin and Furbs are not setting times so far, or at all, as usual in qualifying. But anyway, that's not too bad. We're obviously a ways off the pace, but I'm not even worried about that driving this car. I just want to survive the race. So, without further ado, let us get into it, because there's a fair bit to go through here. It is Wolf starting on pole position on the soft compound tyres upon his return to TransAm. A great qualifying there. Slash starts from second position. Very good qualifying by the relative newcomer out of P2. Sparrow on the soft tyres, so softs for the top three, and mediums for Jester starting out of P4. Bananotto starts in fifth position on the soft compound tyres, and then it is Porsche on the medium starting out of P6. Myself in P7 with yet another evolution of the Superboat livery. Apollo and Artemis on the car this time. Starting out of P8 we have Artsy, and in ninth position it'll be Heafy, and further back, of course, on the back row as always, Jokin and Furbs, and all of us at the back starting on the hard compound tyres, the back five, so we'll probably all be stopping quite early in this one with Furbs off the back of the grid. It'll be interesting to see how we will go down towards the first corner. So with little time to go, it is now time to go racing here in TransAm. The lights are out and we are underway for 2 hours at Suzuka, and it's a fairly steady start for us off the grid, and we're just probably going to keep it a bit high and wide through turn one if we can. Artsy's down the inside. We'll make sure we give Artsy some room, as we are very much experiencing understeer through turn one. And trying to adapt from soft tyres in quali to hard tyres at the start of the race is a bit tricky. Understeer there as well as we give Jokin the big squeeze, but Jokin gets through around the outside. Good move there. And yeah, two wheels in the grass on the outside, getting that one done. But had the grip and the speed to get through. I was trying my best to give space, but this thing has a lot of understeer on the hard compound tyres in particular, so I was very much struggling at the start of this race, and I was glad that everyone was able to make their way through safely as we just about dropped it on the exit there. I had to be very careful, but managed to keep things under control, and yeah, we dropped to the back, which is where this car essentially is going to be for the entirety of the race, I imagine, but we'll see how it goes. Here's the onboard with Jokin, and yeah, it was should have been an easy move around the outside. We made it a little bit more difficult than it had to be, but yeah, I was really trying my best. But anyway, here's a replay of the start then, and Slash got off to a rocket ship launch from the inside line, and was able to just blast through into first position. Wolf does manage to hold on to second ahead of Sparrow, so those soft compound tyres on the top three working ahead of Jester, who maintains fourth ahead of Bananotto, so not the start Bananotto would have wanted, ahead of Porsche, Artsy and Heafy. And then here's the moment myself side by side with Jokin, and yeah, Jokin able to get through there, and Furbs very quickly able to follow through as well. But yeah, you can see the Superbird as it wobbles around, struggling to find traction wherever it goes. But yeah, it's an adventure driving this car, and it's a challenge I like to take on at least once every season. So yeah, we'll see how it goes throughout the rest of this race. But if we can just keep it clean and stay out of trouble, that's really all I'm hoping for from this one. But anyway, we've managed the first half a lap cleanly. That's the main thing. That's the most the difficult part of the race.
Survey says.
Towards the end of the first lap, though, Jokin goes for the move around the outside of Heafy, and this was a nice one into the final chicane, and Jokin gets the move done. Immediately, though, dives off into pit lane, and I was able to restore pit stop audio, so that is something. But Artsy boxes on the first lap of the soft compound tyres. Joken in as well. Joken going
Superbird
for the
is the
mediums
hardest car.
for the next stint.
Yeah, it is.
And we will be doing the same. Same with Verbs,
Yeah.
also onto the mediums. We understeer into the
Superbird,
wall
Pontiac.
at the final
Essentially.
chicane, so that was not ideal, and that was a little bit of damage to the front left corner, so a bit of a frustrating moment there, but nonetheless we'll move on to the soft compound tyres for the next stint, and yeah, that
Not
should,
much about to watch
that
Raw.
shouldn't slow us down
Thumbs
too
up.
much. We'll get that
It's
fixed
so
in this
sorry,
pit
bro.
stop, top the fuel up as well. And
different.
yeah, we'll be off and
Very
racing once
visually
more
different.
on the soft compound tyres.
Way too much
As
Netflix
we
plugs.
already have some weather around.
Roman and
Nothing
Solo
serious
match
at the
was
moment,
honestly shit.
but we do need to watch out for it because
The Liv
the
and
rain,
Rhea match was good.
and
And Punk
can
and
make drastic
Seth
changes
was
to the
kind of
circuit very
everything I
quickly
expected, but
if
the
it
ending
is
was
heavy
just,
enough.
I was just like,
But anyway, as we
and nothing
go
happened
on
at the
board
end, so.
with
I'd like to
Porsche
hear your-
having a
like, I
little
had
bit of a
sound
moment
issues
through the S's, but
with it, it felt
keeps
like you couldn't
things
hear the
under
crowd
control,
enough at times.
for the
It
time
felt like
being,
you couldn't hear the
as
entrance
we
music
look
at all.
forward to
They had
Artsy and
so
Joken
many
going at it.
weird cutaways
After
and
the
ad breaks
S's,
that never happened.
past
It
the
was
Ferris wheel there. And they're
very
still
sloppy
racing side by
fucking
side here.
rain
Artsy
shot
on the softs,
tonight.
Joken on the medium, so a difference
and the
in
best thing
tyre
about it
compound
was
between these two, and Joken able to
Hogan
hold on for the
being
moment,
booed
but
out of the
Artsy
building.
clearly on the soft compound
Yeah.
tyres with the pace. And
I'm not a
might be looking
fan.
to
I've
make a
seen the
move
highlights,
into the
definitely looks
hairpin.
over the top with
Artsy's
plugs and
definitely close
visuals.
enough
I'm
to
not
go
a
for
fan
that
of the
move
black
down the
mat, and I'm
inside.
not a
Out
fan
of
of
frame
the
they go,
referee outfits.
and
Referees
Artsy
need
gets the
stripes.
move done.
And if they're not in
Joken doesn't
stripes,
fight that one too
Like
hard
the
at the
only other
hairpin.
brand that gets
Artsy's
away
through,
with SmackDown, all
and
blue.
can
They
now
better have
carry
all
on.
blue on SmackDown.
Back
That'll be the only
with
way
Porsche
I'll
then
forgive them
towards
for the-
130R,
ref
running a
uniforms they
little
have
bit
now.
wide out into the runoff
But it's
there,
alright. It's good to have
as
Pat Cole back.
conditions
I didn't like the
are
place that they did it in.
potentially
going to
get tricky quite soon if the rain does come down harder. But anyway,
LA
through
booing
the
Nice
final
battle.
chicane round the final
LA
corner,
booing Hogan out of the
Porsche
building
into the
was the
grass,
best
a
thing ever,
full
though. Best thing ever.
about a 270
Like
degree
30
spin,
seconds in, I was
and
like,
retires
They're
from the
booing
race
him.
there
And
and
then
then.
it just
So
got louder and louder.
we got too
Here
tricky
goes
for
Porsche.
Porsche, as Heafy isn't having much better luck, and a big spin at 130R for Heafy, and finds himself pointing in the wrong direction back towards the corner, but flicks it round and will carry on further in this race, and that could have been a bit of a dodgy rejoin there, but they get away with it. Here's the onboard with Artsy, who was coming through there, and Joken as well, dodging the other way.
Fucking
So
hell.
bit of an awkward rejoin there for Heafy.
Fucking
But,
hell.
anyway,
Fuck
Joken
Heafy.
boxes again to get rid of those medium compound tyres, and Ferbs employing the same strategy.
Shocking,
So
mate.
Joken and Ferbs getting the hards and mediums out of the way right at the start of the race. Heafy boxes
That was
to
one
get rid
hell
of
of
the
a jelly
hards,
suspension.
after two
Super he
laps,
does, mate.
and yeah, we'll now move on to the medium compound. Right,
Poor Heafy,
start of the race
LOL,
out
he
of the
had the
way,
worst run,
and
grinning, squinting
we're
face.
still struggling for grip even on the soft compound tyres. You can see in the bottom left the track's starting to get wet now. It's not to the point where it should cause us too many issues. That's just a general struggle we have in the Superbird through the S's, as Heafy boxes again to put the soft compound tyres on. So just a slight delay on the strategy there compared to Joken and Ferbs, who will go flying on through as we find ourselves running wide through the second Degner there. But anyway, we move on, and we've got a battle brewing here between Jester on the medium compound tyres, holding off Bonanotto on the softs for the
How's
time
it
being,
going,
but I don't
bro?
think that's going to stay the same for much
alright, man.
longer. Bonanotto makes the move down the inside and gets it done on Jester, moves up into P4 as we continue on board with myself through Spoon, and yeah, just struggling on in this race in 9th position, just running a bit wide there out into the gravel, and it's so easy to make just little clumsy mistakes like that in this car. Just it's hard to describe, but it's very difficult to have confidence in the steering, at least with my setup in this car. It's drivable, but it's very, I don't know, it's very unpredictable and if you find yourself carrying a bit too much speed, there's not a lot you can do about it, and we find ourselves victim of that once more at the Casio Triangle, and yeah, we find the barriers there, a bit of damage to the front bar, front left corner, and that's going to give us some adverse handling characteristics for the rest of this very long stint that we'll be on as Jester runs a bit wide. But the Superbird, very good on fuel, strangely enough. And yeah, we're going to have to live with that damage for a while.
Yeah,
See if he runs wide as well, but that's a little bit of a 360 spin this time, and still running down in 10th position for Heafy, but will rejoin the circuit, but is actually currently getting blue flags, so we'll allow the leaders through, and well, that's actually Wolf and Sparrow going through there. As into the pits comes Jester to get rid of the medium compound tyres, and the hards go on for Jester, as oh, that is a moment there for Artsy, but seems to get away with it. But everyone's pushing on because of course every second counts, even if they're on different strategies. But oh, that's not a good moment though. Artsy into the wall, and just pushing it a touch too far there. Left hand side tyres got in the grass, and yeah, that is how quickly it could all come unstuck. Meanwhile, on board with myself, it has all come unstuck for us too, off the road in a big way as we were heading towards Spoon, and we gas it up, get it spun around and pointing in the right direction again. But now we're getting blue flagged as well, so we're just gonna have to wait for Slash to go through. We're still getting blue flagged, as now we've got Wolf and Sparrow coming through, and we may have got a bit on the apex there as Sparrow was going around, but we're all good. We carry on, and yeah, that was a little bit of a disaster, and that's what I mean about the unpredictability of this car. It just snapped the wrong way at the wrong moment, and there's just nothing I could have done to catch it there. It just turned so violently to the left as it just wobbled a bit, and you know, I tried to correct it and off it went. So yeah, you really, you know, when I'm driving it, I feel like I'm driving at about 70% just to keep it on the road. So yeah, it's an adventure, like I said, driving this car, but we'll see if we can survive this race. But yeah, it's as you can see, it's not been an easy time so far. And again, through turn 1, we find ourselves wide out off the exit, and he goes on through there. I can't really describe it, but there's something about just driving this car that's just more fun than anything else. Even if it's terribly slow and impossible to control, it's, I don't know, I just enjoy the challenge of getting it around the track more than anything else. And
good day, Jester, raising hands, medium light skin tone.
Was at Blue Moon, we can be competitive in this car, then all the better. But anyway, Wolfie goes for a little half spin at the exit of the hairpin. That allows Sparrow through up into 2nd position, as we go back on board with myself, taking a little bit too much of the inside through the S's there and running wide on the next one, but we'll manage to keep things pointing in the right direction. But that somehow nets us a track limits penalty, despite how much time we would have lost through that sequence. But anyway, that's how that's played out. But let's be honest, that's not going to have any huge impact on how this race plays out. Sparrow goes a bit deep into the Casio Triangle, but no big deal. Rejoins just ahead of Wolf, but shortly after, Sparrow comes into the pits anyway, and soft compound tyres going on for Sparrow.
My friend.
Meanwhile, back out
on
circuit,
where he went
we've got Artsy
I knew Wolf had a moment in first stint.
Artsy will make that
just been busy with work, bro house. The race has been anyone punt you off recently.
There, Artsy moving up after making that early stop, and on those soft compound tyres now.
But yeah, it was monster this week.
Very well. Meanwhile, into 130R, just got a bit of grass on the way in.
I gave a
bit of a 360, and We've got Artsy coming towards us now, actually.
Today, later on, I'm going to be racing the old 1955
turn things
Mercedes
around
Formula One car.
and get going once more. But
maybe some Brands
yeah,
Hatch Group 4.
thankfully the gravel trap on the exit did its job there. The runoff as well, helping
I know
us
it won't be now,
slow
but when
down.
I got off last night, I
yeah,
had top 5 time in the world.
Big moment, just getting the entry wrong. And not the only one, because Heafy is struggling as well through the S's, and just an awkward moment there, even on the rejoin as well. Getting it all wobbly.
YT chat on stream not quite caught up with bottom of chat.
I don't
to mention.
Yeah, we've both
so many
got
grass dips.
very unbalanced cars.
Really wish I
say.
had been able to this
again,
round.
I've noticed
we
that too.
struggle on through this race. Another moment at turn 1.
Nice face blowing
again,
a kiss.
getting away with it there.
I wouldn't have spun
in
out
the
like
pits,
the rest of yous.
is in for a set of the soft compound tyres, getting rid of those hards. Slash is into the pits as well, and it's going to be another set of soft compound tyres for Slash. Meanwhile, on pit exit, Jester was not ready and had to wobble off the road to allow Heafy through, and yeah, Jester will get going again. But anyway,
That was a fair effort.
Bit of an awkward moment on pit exit, but no harm done. Jester will carry on, just having lost a little bit of time there on the pit exit. Meanwhile, Heafy continues to struggle on in this race, running wide at Spoon.
Jester's mowing service.
Yeah, and I was trying to jump into the doesn't make that one
I wasn't here.
What
difficult.
the fuck was that, mate?
I was in the toilet.
Carry on, and we've
Bush
got Wolf into the pits, and it's a set of the soft
see my car driving out of the pits, so I just like
for Wolf.
dived over and
into the pits as well. Soft compound tyres again for Artsy. We're well past the half-hour mark in this race as
Jester on the road to a gazillion universal and intergalactic
turn 1.
subscriptions.
Uncle Pete's not
Subscribe,
here, but we're
like,
not lacking
share,
the drifts.
and comment.
Courtesy
Every bit
Jester
of interaction
through
helps
turn
boost
1.
the
Here's
channel.
the onboard
Jester's
of that.
side hustle, mowing services rolling on the floor laughing.
Nice big
Bloody
drift
fruit
there,
shop owner,
catches it,
LOL.
And
Heafy seen that one.
yeah, we'll not have lost too much time out of that. As,
Suzuka?
into the pits then
At
next
night.
comes Bonanotto, and it's the soft compound tyres that are going on there.
It was one of the hardest races we've
Meanwhile,
ever done.
back on board with myself, still running down in 10th position in this race, and it is time finally for us to come into the pits and well, firstly get rid of these soft compound tyres that have definitely seen better days at this point, and I'm contemplating what to do at this stage, but we're going to go on to the mediums for the next stint, and as you can see,
Nice
even by
held
the time our
slide.
tyres were cooked, we still have a chunk of fuel left, so yeah, it's a very, very good car and fuel, but at this point it was just worth getting rid of those soft compound tyres and moving on to the mediums and fixing that damage that we'd been struggling with for quite a while. I'm not sure why our windscreen wipers were on there, but anyway.
Man, how did he
Out of
end
pit
up
lane we come
battling
then,
with Heafy
and
when
of
Heafy's
course
like a
to the
minute
back of the
50
field
ahead
on
of
the
him at this
medium
point?
compound tyres now, and yeah, we'll just see how these tyres go, and if now
Oh, here we go.
if they're going to feel okay on this car. Heafy's not feeling okay, because that's another 360 for Heafy, and a bit more time lost, but again, Heafy will carry on and come into the pits after that little spin, and Heafy will put the medium tyres back on for the next stint, so maybe the soft tyres not lasting very well on the Corvette. But as you can see, we just had a bit of a moment there. Very lucky not to crash in the way Artsy did earlier in the race at that zone of the circuit, dropping a wheel off. And oh, there we go. There's the moment. And that's what so easily could have happened, you know, 2 corners ago. But thankfully, even there at Spoon, just that little bit of gravel was enough to stop us, and a slower part of the circuit as well. So no contact with the barriers. We've been relatively lucky with a few of the moments we've had not to have too many barrier related issues, only 2 so far. But anyway, as we continue to watch on then, with Artsy, who's making the move down the inside and getting through on Jokin. So nice move there. Jokin not making that one too difficult as we go back on board with myself through turn 1, and again just a ton of understeer through the second half. It's so easy just to try and carry too much speed. Now we're getting blue flagged as well, so yeah, this is where it all starts going downhill once we start getting blue flagged and having to worry about that more and more often. But anyway, back to Heafy, who's still sliding into the wall this time after the hairpin towards Spoon. Nice 360 though. Heafy's getting very good at recovering from these moments and just continuing into a 360 and carrying on. But anyway, we go back to Artsy, who's continuing the charge and is going to try and make the move on Ferbs, and will do so with relative ease there. So Ferbs not making that one too difficult. Artsy through and up into 4th position now. So Artsy on the charge in this one at the moment. But anyway, into the pits then comes Ferbs, and it is going to be soft tyres for Ferbs. Same strategy there for Jokin just in behind.
The share play session will end
on
in
board
5
with
minutes.
myself then through 130R, continuing to have various issues with that corner. Just trying to carry too much speed on that occasion, and we have another go at it, and again just running wide there. So it's a continuing issue. Now we're getting blue flags, and just going to use the runoff here to stay out of the way. But yeah, that is probably proving to be one of the most troublesome corners for us at the moment, and yeah, taking way too much of it that time. That's probably going to be a penalty for doing that. There it is. So yeah, it's a corner where I'm continuously trying to adjust the approach and try different things, but yeah, as you can see, it's quite often ended in not ideal ways. But anyway, as we continue to push on, bit of a moment as we're trying to get out of the way for Artsy there, but we managed to keep it out of the barriers. Here's the onboard with Artsy. We, as you can see, we're well out of the way, so no harm done there for Artsy. But yeah, just made things a little bit trickier for ourselves than necessary. On board with Heafy then, letting Slash through with the blue flags, and then has a little peek back up the inside. Heafy getting a little bit cheeky there, but anyway, Slash is cleanly through. Now we go on board with Jester, and a bit of contact with Heafy, as Heafy's again getting blue flag there, but yeah, not completely giving way to Jester. Here's the onboard with Heafy, and in Heafy's defense, there was probably a car width on the inside there, but Jester was a bit wide at the apex, just following Heafy deep into the corner perhaps, and you can probably see it a bit more clearly from the off-board. So just a little awkward tangle, but no harm done. I don't think there was any damage to either car, and they'll both push on as Heafy gets a big wobble on the exit there, but manages to keep pointing in the right direction. Back on board with myself then as we head into turn 1, and a big slide, and we just about managed to catch it and point things forwards again, but goodness me, that could have been far worse there. And that's what happens when you overstep the mark, when you try and just put a bit too much steering in. It's surprising actually that I was able to catch that, but it is, strangely enough, a very catchable car when you do have a massive moment, so long as all 4 wheels stay on the black stuff and you don't completely snap in the opposite direction. It's actually not too bad at trying to catch it. But anyway, we see Sparrow come into the pits, and that is for another set of soft compound tyres, as we have a bit of a moment at the Casio Triangle once more. And that's just yet another one at that corner. Yeah, it's a very tricky braking zone to try and pick the exact right moment. We've been struggling with that all race long, as yet again into the pits comes Jester, and it's another set of soft compound tyres going on there. For Jester into the pits as well comes Heafy, and medium tyres going on for Heafy. Slash into the pits as well. Hard tyres going on for Slash as we're into the second hour of the race now. And more pit stops going on with Wolf going on to the medium compound tyres, Artsy going on to the soft, so everyone making pit stops at this point in the race just about. But anyway, back to Heafy, who's continuing to struggle on in this race. A big spin there, and that's an awkward one that's going to cost a fair bit of time, unfortunately, for Heafy. But as always, we'll carry on in P9, and yeah, still maintains that position ahead of us, but is not too far up the road, so we'll see. If Heafy keeps spinning, we might have a chance if we can keep it together. But anyway,
Marlboro car looks like the HQ Sports
for a
sedan.
set of the medium compound tyres as we go back on board with myself, just running a bit wide through 130R, but that's nothing we haven't done 1,000 times before in this race. Again, deep into the Casio Triangle as conditions are getting tricky here. Our medium tyres have already taken a hit, and with the rain coming down, we're going to have to box and get some new tyres with some more tread on them to grip into the wet conditions. So it'll be the soft tyres for this stint, and yeah, we'll hopefully have some better luck on these ones. But yeah, it's been a tricky phase of the race, but past the halfway point we should be able to get to the end on one more stop as Heafy goes for another spin, or has another moment under blue flags there, allowing the leaders to go through. But yeah, oh, that's just getting up to speed there again after going off a spin into the wall for Heafy. Goodness me. Heafy has had no luck in this one, as into the pits again comes Slash. So short stint on the medium compound tyres there, and it's going to be soft tyres for the next stint as we go back on board with myself as we get racing once more. And yeah, we are hopefully going to have some better luck in this stint. A bit of a slide through turn 1, but
speaking of Marlboro,
managed to catch it
is
and,
now the only car
push on,
I don't have it on.
Yeah,
Winky face.
It's very, very tricky in the wet conditions as we see Heafy into the wall again, and the tough luck continues for Heafy. And this one was a bit of a weird one. Just
like
arriving at
Chevys.
Spoon, and the car had
Makes
more
sense on
interest
a
in
Chevy.
turning
Can't-
right
can't
than
put it on
left, as it seems. Kind of the opposite of what happened to me earlier on at a very similar part of the circuit. But anyway,
Look how
on
wet it
board
was,
now
man. There was like
with
reflection on the track.
Artsy as Sparrow steps aside to allow Artsy through. But Artsy goes a little bit deep into the final chicane, and that might give Sparrow the opportunity to take that place back on the exit. Artsy out a little bit wide towards the exit, and very dangerously close to losing it on the grass there, but manages to keep things pointing forwards. But Sparrow's through and back up into third position. But Artsy's not done yet, and Artsy continues to put the pressure on, and oh, big slide there for Sparrow. Big slide from Artsy. Artsy into the wall, and that is game over in that fight. And Sparrow will get away as Artsy finds the barrier.
The green
Into
top.
the pits then comes Jokin
Might do a green tough
and Verbs,
GR3 vet.
once more.
The hate.
And both
Well
of
done.
them will be
Hold liveries
switching
on
to
everything
yet
they
another
shouldn't
set
have 'em, and
of
vice
the
versa.
soft compound tyres that they've been using for basically the entire race.
How many I put the holding on?
Artsy carries on into yet another barrier, unfortunately, and the day just goes from bad to worse. It's, yeah, been a very tough day for some of us here, and Artsy just going through a rough time in the race at the moment. Now on board towards or through 130R, spinning off into the barrier. Goodness me. It's brutal. It really is.
So that
There's
cockpit's
nothing easy
real
about
tough.
driving in these conditions, as we see Wolf come into the pits and that'll be for the soft compound tyres, as we see another moment for Heafy, unfortunately.
This is
tough
why
luck
Artsy
continues,
stopped giving a fuck and ignored the blue flags
we still see
underscore
Heafy running
LOL.
in 9th position at the moment, but if this continues, we still might just have a chance at
I would have
catching up
loved
as
to
Heafy
participate in this Suzuka
spins along the
2H.
straight there. That is how
Suzuka
tough the
and
conditions
Monsoon
are getting,
IRL.
as Artsy is into the pits. Medium tyres going on for Artsy, I believe, there, as Heafy
You think
is
it's bad in
into
the
the
Manu
pits.
cars, bro?
And,
Wait till you try
Heafy,
to get around Spoon.
I think rather
or even
wisely
into Spoon.
on the soft
sweeper
compound
into
tyres.
Spoon, bro.
Anyway, as
You think it's
Jester
bad in a Group
drifts
3 car with
through
wets?
the Casio
Try doing it in a
triangle,
muscle car with
getting
sports.
some nice drifts in throughout this race is Jester. Look how fast those wipers are going as the rain is pouring down at the moment. I'm sure if we had audio, you'd be able to hear that big spin.
LOL 2HR race was started as a 1HR.
Unfortunately, so still running in the top 5 actually is Artsy. So the race is not going terribly despite the number of spins. But the violence of that spin was certainly exaggerated by the contact with the barrier.
Pit
Certainly
crew
made
need
it
cans
look
of V.
maybe worse than it was in terms of the spin, but
Mate,
it's going to be more
The
damage
crews needed
to
fucking
Artsy's
overtime
car
day after this one.
as Heafy runs deep into the
I think,
Degnas, and we'll have
say
to
Heafy.
make way for
He
some
did a
blue
lot. It was like
flags
30, 40, 50
on
seconds worth of damage.
or through Degna
Something
too.
like that. Some
But,
ridiculous
yeah,
number.
it's
I think the rest of us were like
very
5
tricky
seconds,
conditions
10
at the
seconds
moment,
tops.
and everyone is struggling to some
Like
extent.
every
but
time he hit it, he would
when
have fixed his car.
you've got a car that's out of balance like myself or Heafy or Artsy, the spins
I don't know
just
how he
don't
kept
stop
going.
coming.
Like credit to him.
And,
This is only halfway through the
yeah,
race.
it's a long compilation of spins for Heafy at the moment. But anyway, Heafy carries on as we go back to myself.
Yeah, the rain.
What's going on
middle
now?
stint at
Well,
night was
not a
just
whole lot.
insane. You
We're
couldn't
just
see.
running
It
down
was
in
mostly that
10th
you couldn't
position.
see. And, like,
But
look, that was so
we're not
loud.
terribly far behind Heafy. That gap has been coming down with all these moments as Jester runs wide there. That allows Joken to go through and move ahead
What are you having for
of
a
Jester.
breakfast?
I'll make some
So,
breakfast.
A change
Cornflakes?
of position there. But anyway,
Man like
into
you,
the
you probably
pits.
fucking eat
Once again
5 raw
comes
eggs.
Artsy. And
Cracking
unfortunately
straight
don't have
in
what
the
tyres Artsy was moving on to, but perhaps moving away from those mediums as off the road we go into 130R,
Shit
and
off the road.
that gravel trap really did a great job of slowing us down because we were heading for that barrier at high velocity, but thankfully the gravel
Literally,
trap
Chucking
very
on
much
fuel
did
up.
its job there, and it helped us stay away from
How,
that and stay in the race. But yeah, that
Like the
was
fucking
a
road.
scary moment, but we get away with it. We still have a long time left to go in this race, so
Someone doing a spin.
yeah, we can't
on the straight.
relax yet. We're more than
Maybe.
halfway
Yeah.
through, but we still have over 45 minutes left, so this is a long race. It really is a test of endurance, but that's Heafy behind us, and this is why. Because Heafy went for a spin through the final chicane,
It's like every time he
and
spun about
that
720.
has given us a position and another spin as he tried to
Yeah,
get going again. And that's all it took. That allowed us to get through and move ourselves up into P9. So all of a sudden, the patience to stay in this race and try and minimize the mistakes has finally paid off, and we've moved up a position in this race. Here's what's happened though with Heafy, just
Same thing
awkward
anybody's
spin
experienced,
again,
and as soon as
a
you
bit
get
like
body
what we
roll
did
from
earlier
one
on
end to the other,
towards the
you
start of the
Fettuccine,
race.
meatballs,
Towards
and some
Spoon,
veggies.
just
Oh, nice,
flicked one
bro.
way
I
and the
had
other,
no idea
and,
there was
there
this
just
much
no chasing, and as
chaos,
soon as it
The
lol.
whole race,
flicks
bro.
towards the outside, there's no way you can recover.
I think I
as
remember asking
Artsy
at the end of the race, was there
struggles
anybody
on
that
in this
did not
race,
spin? And I don't think
dropping down
anybody
into P7 now for
said no.
Artsy. So
Like,
finally, the mistakes are starting to
Top
cost a
10
few more
Heafy.
positions for Artsy after it wasn't looking too bad for a while. But yeah,
it did. At this point, it just,
in so many cases too,
There are a lot of us still
it doesn't
doing okay,
really
yeah.
look like the driver is doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Regardless of who it is.
We all just started to fall
but
apart.
in these conditions, quite simply, the grip isn't there.
Like
And
half the hour. It was hard enough
you don't have to do too much wrong
heaviest
to
rain
find
we've
yourself
had.
flying off the road backwards, and that's exactly what's happened there. Just a different approach, just running a bit wider out over the exit.
And him and Heafy
the
literally
first
did
Degner,
this for the last
and that
40
just
minutes.
completely upset the car and allowed Heafy to go through.
Just who can spin more?
So, yeah, that was a scary moment because we were right on the racing line as we rejoined, and Heafy literally went through us there. But thankfully, we were ghosted as we were reversing back onto the racetrack. Here's the onboard with Heafy.
Yeah, no wets.
Through that scary moment.
Sports softs, so you wet.
Was it sports
yeah,
tires
Heafy
only, no wets?
Tried to give us some
Always
sort of
has been only
space
sports
to
tires.
stop.
Sports
I was
softs,
holding
you
the
wet.
brakes. There wasn't much more I could have done. But anyway,
So yeah,
that
that's
was
why.
that.
And look at this.
Meanwhile, though,
kid.
as we carry on,
Okay,
just
cool.
trying to
Look at
keep
this kid,
things
V-man.
contained through
He's auto.
130R.
He's playing with the
we're
assist.
right on the back of
Doesn't
Heafy
have
once
traction
more,
on.
so
He's got the visual assist, but that's
hopefully
literally
we'll be
because
able
you can't
to
fucking see.
find our way back through,
He's
and
got like
actually it's not going to
50%
take
of
too
his
long.
vision.
Heafy's lost it again. He's going to end up in pit
But
lane
he's
there.
in auto
As
on a
we
controller,
make our way through.
and
I
he
think
doesn't
he's
have
actually managed to keep
TC
it out
on.
of pit lane, so we'll need to see exactly how that happened. But a lot of us all bunched up in one part of the circuit here.
If only some other
as
people
we've
could fucking
recently
get
been
some
dealing
balls
with
and
blue flag. But here's what happened. Heafy did
learn how
manage
to
to
drive
flick it back to the
race
left and
cars
stay out of pit
without
lane.
fucking
But
assist.
that's going to save a bit of time, but eventually ended up
Not
pointing in the wrong
majority, but at
direction.
least half the dudes
If he
here
gets a
do
turned
it
around
with no
to
assist.
carry on once
And
more,
player.
but yeah, that's a
Last
very
in the pack
costly
or
spin
not,
there for
does it on a
Heafy
controller.
as we see the
So,
replay on
Forever
board
and always, much respect.
of that one, and it's just the worst. When you have a spin and you end up pointing in the right direction, you feel okay about it, but when you point in the wrong direction in the end,
in
it's
this race,
it's horrible.
Wolf
But,
is an A+ driver, one of the
anyway.
highest ranked drivers here,
Meanwhile,
cheap.
and he was in the
Jester
box.
continues
Wolf
the
had
drift show
TC
now
and
at Degner
ASM.
too, so Jester's slowly covering all the corners with these
I
drifts.
told you, yeah.
So
I had
anyway,
no proof.
we go on board now with Jester through 130R, and
Look, look,
goodness
look,
me,
on the
that is
curb,
some
on the curb, look at
supersonic wheel work there. I don't know what that was all about. But,
I am guilty
anyway,
of using
good catch.
TC on one,
And,
but that's
good
about
car
it.
control there, I suppose. But anyway,
Yeah, think about it, Grant, how much
Bonanno
better you are
comes
the player.
into the pits, and that is for a set of
He's not
medium
using it.
compound tyres as we go back
Jesus, he got air.
to Heafy, who continues to find trouble.
But yeah, I remember
in
that
this
bit on the
one,
curb.
but,
Someone was following
again,
me, and they were like,
we'll,
how did you
we'll
not
carry on.
die?
And continue
think
this
Simon
fight
was
for
following me.
last position.
How did you not die?
On board with
I was like,
myself.
I thought I was dead.
Ferb's going very slowly on the straight there. He was just getting blue flagged a short time ago as we
I used
drifted out.
TC,
and
but I
goodness me,
feel
that
no
could have ended
guilt
a lot
on
worse
controller.
with
Sue me.
wet and dry parts of the circuit
Full
off,
wet,
off
I'll
track
whack
there
a
as
little
well. That
TC3.
there was a lot of
We've
different
got
grips
underscore
so
LOL.
I don't know how we
Season
managed to catch that.
Controller
but
drivers
anyway,
have a massive advantage in
we
TransAm.
managed to do so, but
We got to the bottom of
yeah,
it.
we've already got Ferbs
two
right on the
seasons
back
ago.
of us again after
Ren,
that
Ash,
moment, and
Then
Ferbs
the only
goes
one with
through,
the wheel
so
that is outright
I don't know
superior
if we
all the
thought I was
time
a
was
lead lap
Peter.
car or not, but
Controller
anyway,
drivers, and it's
we
known,
check back in
Gran
with
Turismo
Artsy
has an-
through the Degners.
even if you don't have
Artsy,
assist on, or
bit
just
of a
TC,
moment in
Gran
the second
Turismo
one, running
has
wide on the
built-in
exit, and again it's
handling
turned into a
assist,
full
braking
spin there
assist,
for Artsy.
acceleration, they were all
Who
like
gets going once
in
more.
the control
but,
whether you like
yeah,
it or
a
not.
bit
They're
more
on
time
like
down the drain, unfortunately, for Artsy.
You don't have to worry
and,
about
same
throttle
goes for
control.
us
You don't
as
have to
we
worry about handling. You
got
don't
off
have to
well
worry about
offline
physically
into
controlling the
turn
car.
one.
Like,
yeah, left-hand
Sorry,
side
bro.
wheels just
no
well
kidding.
into the
I
grass
will
in the
sue you.
braking zone, and that's just not going to work for you. So
Controller hacks.
yeah, just
Even Ash, I think Ash
unfortunate
legitimately went and got a
mistake there
wheel
for
because
us,
he got sick of us
and
calling him a controller
that's
hack.
cost a fair bit of time. Still ahead of Heafy
You think, like,
for the time
after we do
being,
2 hours,
but,
and
yeah,
they're like,
we are,
"Oh,
struggling a fair bit
my
at this point
hands."
in the race, off the
you're
road
like, what,
again,
your thumbs?
through the S's.
My whole
so,
fucking body hurts
yeah,
after
we're going to
2
be
hours.
just again pouring
But yeah,
time down the
I
drain.
get it.
Here comes Heafy, and I don't think there's going to be
Why it
much
is
we
what
can
it is,
do.
bro.
All things
You-
being
anybody's
equal,
allowed to use
when,
whatever they want.
I'll
we're
sue
both
you
going in the right
slash.
direction. Heafy does have
See
a lot
you
more
in
pace,
court, cunt.
but we've both just had
XD.
such
And I'm controller user LOL.
troublesome races that we found ourselves at the same part of the circuit fighting for position at this time, but Heafy's easily through, and yeah, I'm going to
I'm not
P9,
keen to
so
see the Dragon Trail replay.
we might have
because
lost
I did a
that
little
one, we'll
sneaky
see,
Dragon Trail.
as
had
Jester's
to.
having a massive moment. Into the wall goes Jester at
Bound to happen.
130R. and that's a big crash. We'll have to have another look at that one to see how it all started. But on board, and maybe just dropped a wheel in the water. But either way, Jester lost traction and slide over correction. And there was no way to stay away from the barriers after that. And a big crash there for Jester. As Sparrow comes into the pit.
If my finger is fucked to the point I can't grab the milk out of the fridge, it's still fucked, lol.
Into that very
Love
corner.
the banter.
And a bit of an
Are we
awkward
watching
moment
Dragon
again.
Trail
We do
after?
exactly the same thing.
No,
and into
he
the
hasn't
wall
done
we
it.
go in almost exactly the same way as Jester. We
I know
definitely dropped a
about
wheel
QC
in the
slash
wet
KC.
stuff, and
Yeah, true.
yeah, there was no
Right
saving
one.
it. Overcorrected into the wall, and that was it. There was no way we could have avoided that. Once it was gone, it was gone. And yeah, there was no getting it away from the right hand side once it snaps in that direction. Heafy
music's almost
also
comical at
finds
this
the
point.
barrier on
We're
the
all just
driver's
falling
right,
apart.
and yeah, the struggles continue for Heafy. I don't know how
LOL.
to commentate this without sounding like a broken record, because it's been a tough day for many of us at the back of the field.
He
But
was in the
anyway,
castle.
we go on board then with Artsy, who's
Help Jester
starting
on
to
the
get
road to a
back into
gazillion
rhythm
universal
and
and
is putting the
intergalactic
pressure on
subscriptions.
Jester, but they're
Subscribe,
both currently
like, share,
getting
and comment.
blue flags
Every bit
for
of
Slash
interaction helps
behind,
boost
so
the channel.
Artsy in the reverse situation of last time out at the Red Bull Ring, when Artsy was the one getting held up by two blue flagged cars fighting away. Now Artsy is one of those cars with Slash
Here, we're not fighting,
catching up, but
We're
Jester
controlling the pace.
is gonna let
We're not
Artsy go
battling and diving
through.
each
Here
other
comes Slash,
every turn.
making the move around the outside
are
of
keeping-
Jester.
we know we're
Jester's
being
gonna
blue
stick
flagged,
right
we're
on the bumper of
sticking to each
Artsy
other,
though.
and we're still
Slash
trying
not
to
able
allow
to
him
get
room
around
to
the
go
outside. Jester's gonna move it out of the way and allow Slash to go
Big
through
difference
on the inside.
between
So
the Red Bull
now
race
it's
and
down
this.
to Artsy
Big
to find the right
And we were fighting for the
place
middle
and
of the
time
pack,
to
not
let Slash
last and
go
last.
through. So we'll see
Big
how
difference,
this
guys.
goes as we
And we
see
didn't make
them
no
head
contact with
through
leader.
the second half of
Big
Spoon.
difference.
Artsy not willing to
Sorry.
give this one up too
Pretty
quickly
hard to
because
crank
of
one
course
ladder after
Jester
using a
is
controller.
right there. So Artsy doesn't want to give up this position. Of course, that Jester has essentially just gifted
What, you
him.
think gripping a
So
wheel
we'll
is
see what happens here as they head towards
hands
the
are like that,
Casio
mate.
Triangle. And of course, we did see Artsy does have more pace, but not enough to. Oh, Slash, a big moment in the braking
off,
zone,
man. You're on a wheel
and
now,
Slash
you drive
very
third
deep,
person.
and
You're a
that
fucking
is
alien.
slight contact with the barriers in the end.
I'll
for
let myself
Slash,
out.
but that could have been a much bigger moment for the
On
race
Sunday, what's
leader,
going on
as
here?
Artsy was refusing to give way. Here's the
Gotta sing
onboard,
LMAO.
and
He got me a hat for this, guys.
yeah, Slash just losing it a bit in the
little
braking
fucking
zone, trying to
pack
find a
of
way
all
past
those in
Artsy,
the
and that actually the contact with the barrier looked a bit more significant from the onboard. Here's the onboard from Artsy looking rearward. I think Slash maybe wanted to go to the inside, and Artsy ended up covering, well, not covering the inside, but moving to the inside to stay out of the way, and Slash was caught out by that, and had to take evasive action to the outside. So I don't know, that's my read on that one. But yeah, just an awkward
A level
moment
of patience
nonetheless,
helps as well when you are
between two
lapping
cars
others,
on different
especially
laps,
in enduro
as,
racing.
That's was,
Yo, what's
pit
up,
stop,
Jester?
for Banano. Moving on to the softs as Heafy
What's up?
continues the
Good stuff, Pete. Good stuff, Pete.
as I think I was joking going through.
Barely fits me, mate.
And
Gotta be for-
yeah,
LOL.
the battle with Heafy might just reignite here because we are right behind him once more.
LMAO.
So despite how
Pete got me
much
that
trouble
first,
we've
guys.
both had in this
Couldn't-
race,
Nice
no-
hat.
continue to find each other
The
on
note was
track,
very nice,
but
Pete.
there's a half spin for us,
Low.
and
L.
it's going to cost us
Very well written,
a
mate,
chance
mate.
to
Appreciate it.
battle away
Legend.
with Heafy
Appreciate it.
for the time
What do
being,
we
as
want?
we are
Race car
continuously,
noises. When
getting
do we
blue
want
flagged
them?
as well, which is
Well.
costing us even more
That
time.
hat is
Yeah,
gold.
it's like a
Anyway, we'll
fisherman's
get
hat.
going once again, and
Folds up in itself. It's got like a
try and
bag
close
in
down that
itself.
margin to
And like it
Heafy
folds up.
once more.
Fold it up.
But anyway, we've got Heafy into the pits now then, and Heafy moving on to the soft compound tyres. For the rest of the races, we are heading into the closing stages. The Furbs into the pits as well, as we head into a spin, and that's a really awkward one. And that's gonna, well, I was gonna say it's gonna end with us pointing in the wrong direction. Wasn't too bad. We were able to avoid a 3-point turn, but yeah,
you got the girls on OnlyFans getting their lingerie sent
unnecessary. I was hoping to go longer than Heafy in this stint, and then have fresher tyres to maybe have a fighting chance at the end, to have a bit better pace. But yeah,
BRB Kitchen.
And then there's me and Pete that opportunity might just be gone. But we'll see, because Heafy's also not having the best run of luck throughout this race, and that's another off there for Heafy. So there's still a chance, but okay, well there's more of a chance now. Heafy's found the barriers there once more at the exit of Degna 2 on the inside. I haven't managed to hit that one yet. I've hit a lot of them, but yeah, Heafy's made a habit of that one, and another moment there for Heafy, and this is just, it's a never-ending downward spiral, isn't it? It's proving a very tough race for Heafy in that C3 Corvette. It's got to be said that it is not
did you
an
want
easy
my
car
knickers?
to tune and drive the
LOL.
C3. I've got a plan for later in the season, and I've had my share of troubles with it getting it, trying to get it up to speed. But another spin for us at the hairpin again might cost us an opportunity, but we'll see as we try and keep it out of the way for the actual contenders going through. But yeah, this is not going well for us. Just extending that stint, it's, I think, proven to maybe not work out so well. But anyway, Sparrow was into the pits there, as well as Slash, and I think everyone by now should be going into the softs for the end of the race. Artsy as well into the pits for softs.
Wow, TDS
Back on
girl
board with
just
myself
dropping
then,
a hard
and
R.
we are also going to be going into the pits now for the soft compound tyres. And with less than 15 minutes to go in the race, we're not going to need too much more fuel, so with a reasonable margin to Heafy, we might actually hold on to this position with Heafy's extra stop and the struggles that Heafy has had. We speed up the pit stop, fuel's done, damage is getting
also,
fixed.
FYI,
and,
we can barely
yeah,
hear you over
we
player.
should be okay
LOL.
to come out in 9th position, which is massive.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
that is a
He's
huge
meant to do most of the
help
talking.
for us. I could have, put more fuel in to potentially go faster to
shouldn't
the
be
end of the
talking over
race
the
as
top
we
of him.
slide again through turn 1. But the matter of fact is that if I turn the fuel mix up, I'm probably just going to crash. So let's not do that. This car is reasonably well balanced in map 6. If I put extra fuel in so I can turn it up to map 1, I don't think it's going to end well, just to be honest. So yeah, as we carry on though, we have a bit of a moment into the hairpin, but we mostly get away with it. Cost us a bit of time, but it's time we really can't afford, because as I said earlier, Heafy's car definitely has better outright pace as we go on board with Jester once more, getting it a bit sideways through 130R. But yeah, we really need to minimize mistakes, because it's the only chance we're going to have at staying ahead of Heafy in the end, as Jester's continuing to have a few little moments here and there, but nothing too major for Jester, just pushing the limits late in this one. But anyway, we check back in with Artsy.
At this point in the race, I hadn't even been able to push the
making a
limits
move
with the
down
tyres
the
and the
inside
rain
of
and
Joken
everything.
into
Track had
turn
finally
1.
dried up.
Artsy gets through, and there's a hit from behind there. Artsy spins around, and Joken, as they were facing each other for a moment there, Joken's through, and Artsy drops down back into 4th position. So Artsy's actually recovered pretty well here, but yeah, Artsy making the move, and yeah, Joken into the back of Artsy on the exit. But yeah, Just another awkward bit of contact. Artsy sent it in pretty deep to get the move done. Joken maybe just didn't quite anticipate Artsy slowing up a little bit on the exit to make the corner. And yeah, just an awkward tangle between those two. Wolf boxes for the hard compound tyres late in the race. Jester makes a stop for the softs with less than 10 minutes to go in this race. We have another moment through 130R as Heafy catches up to us, so it's on. This fight for P10 is going to go to the end of the race from here. We're both set for tyres and fuel, so we can just battle on now to the checkered flag. And wow, Heafy is right on our bumper, right under the enormous rear wing. He's actually taking a look to the inside as we head towards turn 1. The car swaying around a little bit in the braking zone, which I'm sure is unnerving for anyone who happens to be behind us. But we managed to wobble our way around the outside and maintain the position. These two cars fighting each other is quite something. The unpredictability of the handling of these two cars. We're trying to leave each other a lot of space, and to be fair to Heafy, while he was behind me here, he was
look, they're faster than fucking
being very respectful and certainly not going at full attack. So yeah, very much appreciate that, because especially through the S's, the Superbird is much slower than the C3, and that's where we were losing a lot of time. But anyway, we're trying to hold on as best we can as we head through the Degners, and all of a sudden Heafy's disappeared, so I think he's dropped it again somewhere. We'll see on board. Through this whole sequence, and yeah, Heafy was well up the inside actually, but the Superbird has been good on the brakes in the past. I don't know how it measures up these days, but we were able to outbrake Heafy around the outside and maintain the position. But throughout this whole sequence here, Heafy was very much off throttle, and you can see how much time Heafy was able to gain just through one corner alone there. So C3 definitely has the upper hand through the corners as we're just understeering corner after corner, and Heafy trying to set up a little switchback here to try and maybe sneak up alongside, maybe looking to the outside. I'm just trying to keep the thing pointing in the right direction as much as possible and just park it on the racing line, and then Heafy just drops it through the first Degner. And yeah, that was it for Heafy, and that could be the end of that battle. And yeah, that's all it took. Just overstepped the mark slightly. Maybe a bit too much steering, a bit too much power, I'm not sure, without the audio exactly what caused that spin, but yeah. Oh, and another one too. So it's yeah, it seems tricky. We've seen it a few times with Heafy. After he spins, he always, or quite often, spins a second time. That's Jester spinning for a second time at 130R into the barrier. So Jester coming unstuck there now twice in this race, and has had a couple of close calls on top of that, but a carbon copy of what happened earlier. Big impact with the wall for Jester, and yeah, that's yet another big crash at 130R, where there have been several already in this race. But anyway, continuing on board with myself, a spin into the hairpin, and that might just give the position to Heafy, because we've ended in a really awkward spot pointing out into the gravel trap. There goes Heafy through on the inside, and that has cost us P9 in this race. Right there and then. I was so frustrated with that, because up until that point throughout the final stints, I'd actually been driving really well and had been minimizing those sorts of mistakes quite well, but yeah, with just a couple of minutes to go in this race, it has all come unstuck.
Agreed, justice for all album vibes.
Run wider spoon as well, so there's no chance I'm gonna get back through there. So yeah, that was frustrating, but we'll see what happens with the number of times Heafy's lost it in this race. There's still hope, and in fact, it was right around this time I said to Heafy in the party chat, I know you've got another spin in you, so yeah, if you could deliver on that, that'd be great. And yeah, well, we'll see if he does, but for now we'll just have to try and minimize the mistakes and just get to the end. And oh, yep, for sure enough, Heafy's lost it again. It took all of I think about 12 seconds between my request for Heafy to spin again and for it to actually happen. So yeah, appreciate that one, Heafy. Thank you very much. That gives us P9 back once again. And the battle of the spins continue. Let's review this whole little sequence though. It was the worst kind of spin into the hairpin. Like I was saying earlier, that kind of spin where you end up pointing in exactly the direction you don't want to, and we had to do a full U-turn in the gravel trap. Here's Heafy's moment. It actually started on the way into the chicane, but that itself wasn't too bad, and then he drops it on the way out as well, and that's what was what allowed us to get through and move ourselves back up into 9th position as Heafy dropped further back. Oh, he's lost it again on the exit onto the main straight. Goodness me, it has been a tough race for Heafy, it's fair to say, but it still carries on with just a couple of minutes left to go in this race, the final lap for sure for us. But yeah, oh my goodness, and again at turn 1 he manages to mostly catch it that time as he smokes it up.
Yeah,
Let's
just
focus on something
just
else
like
for a
the thrashy
while
groove he
as
gets in the
we
middle
go
of it.
on board with Artsy making the move on Joken once more, as Joken had to serve a penalty there on the straight, so that gives Artsy the position, and Artsy moves back up into 3rd, so finally getting that place back into the chicane though. Artsy goes deep. Joken's going to get this one back potentially as they run side by side on the exit. Joken gets the squeeze, but Joken manages to get back through, so Artsy throwing it away the moment he got the position there, unfortunately. So we'll see now on board with Artsy once more. Artsy has the run, but not keen on making that move again. So yeah, Joken holds on to P3 for now. Meanwhile, back with Jester, who I think is going to be the first to cross the finish line, although it has a fairly significant air gap in front at the moment. So Jester is calling this one early and is going into celebration mode. So P7 for Jester, so not a result to celebrate too much. It's been a mixed race for Jester, and oh, that's a spin and crash into the wall at the end there. Ferbs swerves across to join in the fun. Jester flicks it around and burns up the last of that rubber to get moving again. But yeah, it's been mixed fortunes, and there's the onboard with Ferbs on the way through. But yeah, like I was trying to say, mixed fortunes for Jester throughout this race, a few offs, but yeah, perhaps not the outright pace compared to say the likes of Artsy, who had many offs and is fighting for a podium in the end. But Jester takes P7. Ferbs will come around to take 8th position in the end, giving that one back to Jester at the end there. So those are the first two to cross the line. Meanwhile, we go on board with Artsy as we're moving out the way for these two. We're not getting involved in this very heated fight at the end of the race for the final place on the podium, and Joken's got it under control. Artsy sends it into the chicane one final time, but only to close the gap. Unfortunately, no podium for Artsy today. Joken's going to take P3, and Artsy will have to deal with 4th position. But back to the fight between myself and Heafy. It was not quite over because we lost a lot of time with those blue flags, and that allowed Heafy to close right up to us as we come into the chicane for the final time. And Heafy was making the move around the outside. We sent it back up the inside though, and tried to barge our way back through on Heafy. That was very aggressive though on my part, and I kind of just drove myself off the road there at the exit of the chicane. I was a bit busy trying to figure out where Heafy was. There was contact between us, but anyway, Heafy gave the position back as we come across the line. He argued that I was way too generous to Joken and Artsy. But anyway, here's the onboard with Heafy, and you can see he basically had the move done, and then, yeah, we barged our way back through. So, yeah, that was a bit aggressive, and then Heafy, maybe a slightly dodgy rejoin, but, yeah, myself, you know, I just drove myself off the road there at the exit of the chicane, so that's on me. That's being clumsy. But anyway, we drilled Artsy across the finish line because Artsy had run out of fuel as well. But let's focus on this because Slash has had an absolutely fantastic race, and Slash is gonna take victory here at Suzuka after just 2 entries in Trans Am. What a performance from Slash. Sparrow will take a P5 in the end of this one, and a little bit further back on track is Bananotto, who will eventually come to the line for P6, but it's I think been a bit of a frustrating race for Bananotto. He's had a lot of steering wheel related issues with the wheel disconnecting, which might have actually happened there because I think that's when the hazard lights come on. But yeah, it's been a tough day for Bananotto, and it's going to be P6 when he eventually makes his way to the finish line, coming through the final corner now though, and to the line comes Bananotto to take P6 in this one. And I think that just about wraps up the finishes. Oh no, we got Wolf. Wolf comes through to take P2. Let's not forget our returnee from Season 1. Wolf takes 2nd position. And I actually forgot to include this earlier, but here's my onboard of that last lap little sequence of events. I did actually have a fair gap to Artsy and Joken, so that's why I had to slow down so much to let them through. But I knew if I had any kind of moment through 130R and the final chicane, you know, they would have been right on me, and I didn't want that, so I thought I'd better play it safe, and then there was nothing safe about that with our final fight with Heafy. But you can see there, right when on the exit of the chicane, I was looking back to see where Heafy was, to see how badly we barged him off the road, basically. But anyway, in doing that, I drove myself off the road. So yeah, that was the second part of that. Certainly wasn't Heafy's fault coming back onto the track. That was just me driving off the road. Anyway, we sorted ourselves out in the end to 9th for myself, P10 for Heafy, but race win for Slash after just 2 entries in Trans Am. That's massive. Wolf, on his return to the series, takes P2, and Joken from last place rounds off the podium, or from second last on the grid, I believe. Ferbs started from P11. But yeah, what a race. What a crazy, chaotic race. Artsy, after all those crashes, manages to bring home P4, which is not bad. Sparrow, a bit more of a controlled drive to P5. Bananotto, I don't think we really saw him the whole race, other than through the pit stops. A very steady and safe drive to P6 for Bananotto. P7 for Jester after those couple of spins late in the race. At 130R and a few other moments as well, and then Ferbs. Myself, Heafy, rounding out the finishes, and then Porsche with the DNF on lap 2, I believe it was. But yeah, there we go. Goodness me, that was an experience driving the Superbird around Suzuka. But a very fun race. After the kind of race that I had and the kind of race that Heafy had, I cannot believe we managed to find each other at so many points throughout the race, let alone at the end. We were 5 laps down, but somehow we were fighting each other on track. I don't know how that happened, but anyway. It is the first non-triple star of the season, after talking about how much of a rarity they were after the first round, but it's yet another win for the Chevelle. 3rd driver to win in a Chevelle. There's my realization that I couldn't save the replay, and the reason there was no audio for the replays all throughout. But yeah, He even told me that the replay was saved after that, which is kind of funny. But anyway, here's just a weird graphical glitch, by the way. Not sure what's going on here. But anyway, here's the points standings after that round. Artsy now takes the championship lead with a total of 82 points, 5 points ahead of Jester, who sits on 77. Then it's 11 points back, further back, I should say, to Ferbs on 66 points. And then it's reasonably close after that, just 64 points for Sparrow. And then down to just 58 for Slash, who's only done 2 races. So that's a lot of points from just 2 races. But 34 of those coming from this one with the fastest lap as well for Slash here at Suzuka. Bananotto is next, and I mean, Bananotto essentially only has 2 races as well. Total of 54 points, only 6 points scored at the Red Bull Ring, the lowest points haul from a single race in championship history. And myself rounding out those who have competed in every round with 46 points. Anyway, that is going to do it for this one, so I will say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. Please feel free to give me some feedback in the comments. It is always very helpful. And other than that, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
When the super bowl, the ship they ride, understeer won't break their stride, no downforce to hold them back. Oversteer is their soundtrack.
Oversteer is their soundtrack.
Apollo and Artemis are revving engines loud, twins of Olympus on a new cloud. Engine on song, break the silence of the night, hunting down the pack, it's a cosmic fight. In chariots of muscle, they chase the dream. 750 horses, hear them scream. Determination, ready to steel embrace. Olympic gods in a high-speed chase. Blazing tires, spinning wheels. With every turn, black rubber feels. Speeding through the twilight mist. Driving this thing takes a steady wrist. When the super boat, the ship they ride, understeer won't break their stride. No downforce to hold them back. Oversteer is their soundtrack. Cat engine makes hearts pound. Tires dancing across sacred ground. RPM is pushing for
These lyrics are amazing.
power pulls ahead. Drives like
I gotta get some of these AI songs off of him.
it almost feels like something
I really
is
liked
wrong.
last week's one too,
Between
with the
us and
girl.
a racing show, a place where only legends go. When the super bowl, the ship they ride, understeer won't break their stride. No downforce to hold them back. Oversteer is their soundtrack. Tires screech as engines roar. Destinies an open door.
Oh yeah, that was Archie and Sparrow, yeah. That was mad. So many of us had those moments. You're following someone, they squirt, you squirt, and who can hold it?
When the super boat, the ship they ride, understeer won't break their stride. No downforce to hold them back. Oversteer is their soundtrack.
What a way to end it.
Hello everyone, and welcome
Just
back to
pure slapping.
TransAm.
Curious what you end up setting tires/fuel at for Spa compared to
Yeah, it's a good video. It was a good video. That was mad. Good stuff, player. And don't you worry about it, Slash. These fucking cords are getting so bad. Okay. Get rid of that. Yeah. Okay.
Going bone. On.
Not much, mate. We've just been watching a TransAm replay. Which is probably why you only just showed up. Oh, my neck's killing me after that. Got to stop doing it. I need a better setup. Come on, Kaz. Haven't even played, mate. Let me in. See? Works. I'll be back in a sec, guys. But yeah, honestly, I don't know what I did to lose 5 subs overnight. What, I didn't stream last night? I don't know. I uploaded that Marvel Rivals video as a premiere. I wasn't even around when it was premiere, and I don't even know if anyone watched it. But between then and now, I lost 5 subs, and that's a decent amount. That is interesting, Slash. I haven't done Champions League yet. I was actually just going to do, because you can do the tournaments, I was just going to do it that way. You get a trophy for doing it. Because I imagine it'd still be hard to win. But yeah, I probably won't stream it again for a couple of days, just because I really need smoke when I've got that. Otherwise, I'll get too angry when it's going bad. And I can't really get into the manager shit. Alright. Ending. Hey Jacko, how are you, mate? Look at this piece of history I'm driving. 1955 W196 Mercedes. Don't mind the livery. Listen to it. Yeah, Fangio's car, man. Fangio and Sterling Moss. Only come to the game a couple months ago. They're finally giving us a race to use it for. Perfect track for it too, with all the adulations. Yeah, I will be, Strongs. I'll be down, mate. See if we can get some more. It was good last night because I was learning a lot more players. I'm warming up, Tom. Back off, mate. I just got on, bro. No worries, mate. Fuck's sake. Looked at the time, looked back, fucked it up. That's how you break the car. But yeah, I can do the race. I wasn't really planning on, man. I was more just going to TT, improve my time. Because I was pretty fucked last night, couldn't be stuffed. This game. Haven't even been playing it. Come on. And then, what's this? Typical. McGahn at the top. Clarkey, stick it to him. But I called that. I said the McGahn. So G70. No Hurricanes, surprisingly. So I imagine, yeah, 4Cs. I called it. See? You were saying. Yesterday someone was like, oh, it'll only be these cars. And I was like, no, what about the 4C, the McGahn, the NSX? The other ones will be quicker, but these ones will be better on tyres. But yeah, same old shit. I'd probably use the C7, the G70 or the 4C, because I'm also over the Lambo, and people who just constantly use the Lambo. But I'm not a McGahn fan. I don't like the McGahn at all, and I'm not going to drive it just because it's good at one track. I'm not that person. If I don't like a car, I don't like a car, and I won't drive it. Fucking shit, look at this cunt. It's brands, you can get a good lap out of anything, really. Soft tyres, too. 5 wear, partial, minimum 1 stop. Might be fun to do from the back on the slapper. Try out some cars. Yeah? No? Yeah? No? Yeah, no? Cool. It's fucked today, isn't it? It's completely frozen. It's fucked today, guys. Haven't even used it, just turned it on. She don't want to cooperate.
G-Day gents.
Hey, OGB.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I regret making my alt on a Suzuka Week LMAO.
Yeah, getting bashed by Japanese. Or just bad drivers at Suzuka. It's such a tight track. Such a push to pass track. You can have great racing side by side at Suzuka, like the whole fucking track. If you're with someone respectful, but that's like 1 in a million.
Shithousery.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you, bro. I told you it'd be like that. I have no doubt. Was it probably just the GTR and the BMW? Probably GTR. It's always the same too. Like they always, all the top splitters end up in the same fucking car. M6. It's close. I mean, competitive, yeah, but like, look, same shit from, look at him. He's so good, he's got to get it in there twice. But it's literally just every time you go to the track, you use the same fucking car. Like, even you see me at Monza, I use so many different cars already. And even the car I was using was not the outright established fast car, but it's just the same shit. That's why I literally, the two cars, I said BMW, GTR, and then look at the Aussies that are there with times and think about who they are, Pennywise, Green. Like, it's just a wank fest. Copy and paste wank fest. This is special.
Tears of joy. I'm using the McLaren mainly, not meta but still fairly competitive.
But yeah, legit, Monza, like even Monza turned into nothing but the Corvettes and the Vipers and Porsche. By the looks of it, Porsche looked like the best car at the end of the week. I was using a Huracan, a fucking Hyundai, and was able to lap half a second within the fast guys in the faster cars. And when I was in the draft, I could race as fast as them. Like, yeah, all right, I'm doing it to myself. But I just, why is everyone always got to be like this? Is the same race in an old car. Everyone's in the same car. That's what this race is. Makes sense. Then just the whole need to be at the pointy end or to be competitive or whatever. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how anybody defends it, how anybody doesn't call it out when it happens, and, you know. And I said it yesterday. I didn't even look at either race yesterday or their boards, and I called the car for each one. I called the cars. I said, C's going to be more competitive than you think. So it could be, but it's still going to heavily rely on two cars, and then it'll mostly be top split races. So, knives out. But there's really no use doing Suzuka from the back on the alt, because there's not enough you can do in a short amount of time, and just being a race B, it's fucking kill or be killed, basically. Race C with the strategy, at least you can do something from the back, maybe try out some different cars. Suzuki, you'd just be going backwards. Because they'll all be sharpened up already. Yeah. You know they only care about who fucking sponsors them now, bro. Well, the Genesis and the Nissans wouldn't have been as strong for as long as they have been. Same as the Toyotas, but the Genesis specifically is a joke. Like, that's just like blood money. Having the car be as good as it is in this game, it's not even a real car. It's just a giant promotion for the brand. I fucking love this car. Yeah, it does. You gotta hustle it so bad, bro. Yeah, I agree. It's you driving the car. No assist, no tyres helping you. It's just you in the car. I agree. That's how the Honda kind of feels too, but even the Honda feels a bit too zippy, a bit too easy. This, you can hustle it, but once you get used to it, it's like, it's effortless in this car to drive it on the limit. Kind of treat it like a modern F1. You just kind of keep dropping gears for rotation, then flicking back and idling the throttle on the way out. But I love it. Just how it was at Spa alone. That first time going up the hill at Spa, I was like, what the fuck? And then after half hour of it, I was like, this is driving, you know, like.
GG.
And then it's too long to wait till the next one. And then I'd risk,
You get a feel for it. It's really nice on these
yeah,
tires.
and then I'd risk not being able to make it to my other account to swap over and do race C at 5:30. You know what I mean? We got out at just 9 past, so there's no way I'd be able to change to my other account, log into the game, and guarantee that I could get into the 5:30 for that one. So just have a look at the TT again, and then I'll change account. Race C from the back, Tom. I should be able to match with you my other account as AS. That was pushing. You can pretty much have full throttle over that whole hill if you do it right. You back off, hook in enough. I think it's a desperate attempt by two companies to stay relevant. Honda haven't really made any good cars for a long time, and they charge an excessively exorbitant price for what their cars are and what they, you know, were known for. Fucking $88,000 for a fucking four-door Civic. Yeah, righto, mate. And Nissan haven't been relevant for a long time. The only thing that keeps Nissan relevant is the GTR, and the GTR is reaching the end of its life cycle. Yeah, I don't think it's a good look either. Yeah, it's a big win for Toyota, 100%. They'll close up more of the market. It's a desperate, desperate attempt by two struggling Japanese companies to stay afloat. And it'll probably give them another 10 years at best. And then they'll just end up under the Toyota umbrella. Or they'll get real petty and sell to some overseas one so it doesn't end up in the hands of Toyota. They'll go the way of Mitsubishi, because Mitsubishi are fucking dead. Literally dead. Nothing left to like about that brand anymore. Honda have gone the same way for a long time. Nissan have only solely had the GTR. And they've got a range of full drives now that people seem to like, but that's where they're all fucking headed. The big car market, the small car market. That doesn't mean shit for either of them, at least over here, because the market's dominated by fucking small electrics now. Or Toyotas, hybrids. A small, affordable four-door, not an $80,000 fucking overpriced, medium-sized car. And then in the GTR's case, a $100,000 plus overpriced two-door sports car. Yes. Yeah. Yep. I know so many too think the same. Hybrid technology, for starters. They were the leader in it. Have been for 20 years or so. And they were so laughed at when they brought out the first one. But yeah, I think it's desperate, bro. I think it's the true death knell for the Japanese car industry. Like, because Toyotas, they're just going to become like GM. Like, it's the same thing. You'll have one car maker that holds all of them. Every now and then they'll do a special edition of a famous car. But they're still just making their bread and butter off of their fucking boring ass fuck hybrids and fucking sedans and four-wheel drives. I mean, let's be real too. Toyota has always ruled the four-wheel drive market. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love a Hilux. I would love one. Practical, big, tough. Practical. I hate utes or pickups that aren't practical, bro. Dumbest fucking wanker accessory in the world. Yeah, one of my good mates has got one too. He's had two of them. He had like an old late 90s model, more boxy white one. And then he ended up like a couple, 5-6 years ago, he got the newer one, the real nice big bodies on him. Tubbed out, nice blue. He loves it. What's he call it? Frankie Fistface or something like that. It's got a name. And a lot of blokes I worked with had them too. A lot of them, they were all footy boys. All young footy players. It was like a trend between them. Yeah, my missus really likes Jeeps. Yeah. Hey? Yeah, probably would be. Yeah, well, is it on a streaming device? Okay. We'll look up a release date, see if it's out on digital or on DVD. Oh, come on. I'm just not hooking into it at all now. Fucking too early. again. Well, I had it until I bounced off that wall. Gonna beat it by the tiniest bit. Still, there's a lot in that. Fuck, it gets you sweaty. So bad. Should do another one. But yeah, I'll probably shut it down soon, guys, because it's very quiet. And it seems people would prefer to watch the top split shit. Which is fine with me, but I pretty much said I'd be having a week off of it this week without caring. Too much copy and paste. And I doubt anybody's going to do race A to make it competitive. Maybe just go to America and do like race A from the back. Have a laugh.
What's that?
Hello, Hunter Ricky. Oh, and Joel. Yeah, it's too quiet, bro. For 5:30 in the afternoon. Got 5 people watching. It's too quiet, bro. It's not worth staying on. I'd rather be doing something I enjoy. And yeah, the last few days and certain people streaming made it pretty obvious that I'm fucking second, third, fourth, fifth fiddle a lot of the time when others are on. And it doesn't matter how good I can be doing at a chosen combo, other people would rather watch someone else. So it's starting to get to me and making my Naki side come out again. But it's very noticeable recently. Fucking, I could throw a handful, 10 people under the bus who do not show hair nor hide here, and then they're everywhere else. And then, yeah, I don't know. I'm just, yeah, I'm sick of pretending again. You know? And it's not complaining or being sour or anything. Like, it's genuinely like too many people that they don't show up here anymore. And the moment other people are streaming, they're all up in their shit. So I think it's personal straight away. You know, because of the way my brain works. I think it's personal. And I make it personal in my own brain, even more. Oh man, could you force me any more onto the line? Oh fucking hell. that was a violent death. I love Brands. Got mad respect for it. British Laguna Seca without a corkscrew. Tight, windy, requires serious skill when it comes to passing. Requires serious consistency. Consistency is probably the main reason I like this track, because you fucking need it. If you don't have it, you're gonna die. But it's a track that you can race at very skillfully if you know how to. And you know when you're racing someone who just doesn't get the lines here. Because it's Apex City, this track, man. It's all about the fucking apexes, and it's got some odd apexes. But the way to a fast lap around this track is consistency, not a fast car. That's why I love it. It's a technical track. So easy to get on the grass. Get on the grass, it's so easy to die. You have to respect the track limits. You have to know the track limits. But Laguna Seca, I think, is very much the same, with the added difficulty of a corkscrew. The sand there is very much the same as the grass here. Oh, get out of the fucking way, idiot. if I know what happened with Joel there. And there's clearly some cars that can do the whole race without having to change tyres because there was someone who pitted like lap 2. Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. Come on, mate. I was on your inside. You fucking turned into me. Yeah, you muppet. Go on, try and murder me. You fucking idiot. So yeah, his cars can do the whole race without tyres. Yeah, 100%. Well, they do to people that don't pick meta cars. But yeah, it's always here, bro. It's the same. It was the same at Catalunya. You pick pace and change your tyres, or you pick a car that is slow and you don't have to change your tyres. There. This is this, bro. They don't give a shit. And people will still use the same cars. Someone didn't grab tyres. The bloke who got the fastest lap did not grab tyres. The bloke who won. Well, didn't pit. Sorry, he didn't pit. Lol. Got a pit, bro.
Last week at Monza, I think races with medium/soft strategy would at least add something more. Bold strategy cotton.
Oh, poor guy. Oh, wowee. But yeah, seems pretty one-way traffic. We pick a car that doesn't need tyres, so 4C. 4C on fucking softs. Mate. Either pit first lap or last lap. I want Hission's livery. How would I find it? It's Jaeger. Is that it? That's not the exact one. Is that it? No, that's not it either. It's like that, but modified.
Careful with that ass angle. Don't think you're allowed to show porn.
Nah, that's not porn. That's all bones, mate. Nobody wants that. It's like banging a gymnastic bum. Nobody wants that, mate. Not skinny guys, anyways. Bad for the hips. Lots of bruising. You know? I doubt he's going to have one. But let's see. Damn it.
That is a sick car. Skinny, fat, it's all porn to someone.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, no. 100%, I agree, Slash. I'm a man, I'm cultured, mate. Man of taste. Been through a life. You get past stereotypes and start to love all sorts of things. Be amazed what I find most attractive now in my older age. Yeah, it's cool. Done. Done. Can't wait for him to see it. He'll be like, oh, itchy man. Shout out. Fuck it. My boy.
Check out Hussein Sam Ichiban number 1 https://www.youtube.com/.
What, Russia sticker? Is there a Russian sticker on it?
We talk about the Russia sticker, LOL.
Is Jaeger from Russia? I'm sure Nikita Mazepin would like to talk about it. But fuck him. He's not coming on the show. He can fucking stay in the bin in Russia. Because he's a dog. Is it? Oh, yeah, because it's some race there or some shit. Don't worry about that, mate. Look at this. This is hilarious. Don't even have softs for him. How's that? That's the second car that I've had to buy the softs for. Like, you know how many times I go to lobbies, like, of random friends and shit, and I'm like, what? Like, I don't have soft tires for racing cars. That says so much about the way I play this game. You know? Yeah, he was content kid. Where's fucking RPH been? Is he even on YouTube anymore? He has not had, or is he just purely Patreon now? Did they take him down? I have not seen him. Yes, his channel still exists. Where has he been? Where's fucking RPH, mate? Gotta fucking comment on his Lando video. RPH, Rocket Powered Mohawk. Fun. Best F1 content creator out there. The only genuinely funny F1 content creator. Everyone else is a fucking politically correct robot. Rocket Powered Mohawk is... Rocket Powered Mohawk rants about F1 the way I ran about this. Like, but way less fucks given. Way more worse jokes. He's the king. The king. Absolute king. Diabolical. Should hear him go off about Paul di Resta and Lance Stroll. Beautiful. LH, fucking hashtag LH44. Bro, he's got so much. Like, he takes the piss out of all of it. Nobody is safe with him. You know, Max is a Sigma. Fucking Stroll is a window licker. Like, his rants about... I've used one of his rants about Lance Stroll in one of my videos because it was just... It was venom. Pure venom. But if you don't know who he is, get onto him. Believe me, if you've never seen his shit, go back and watch everything he's ever fucking made. You'll laugh your ass off about the last 4 or 5 years of F1. You'll fucking be dying. You watch 5 minutes of it and start laughing, you'll be there for the next day. Just watching him. He's that funny. It is the best. And, like, you're going to laugh at a lot of shit and be like, oh, there's going to be a lot of that. And that's what makes him awesome. Maybe. I don't know, bro. Hasn't been enough people around to keep me interested. I'm just more talking shit with a few guys here. Doing races from the back, mate, so I don't even know if I'll match with you. There's no A pluses here. Oh, God. Oh, she's so touchy. So light. Oh, wowie. That looks scary. Oh, God. brakes are so touchy. That's because of how much I've increased my sensitivity. Little bro. Fuck off, child. Just because your balls are dropped. Like a little bro. How you been, mate? Fucking Iceman. Just doing some more copy and paste of brands. This was copy and paste from GTS days, mate. Oh, that was mad. Big 19. Mate, I'm 38. I just turned 38. Getting old, Hados. Oh, it's very low A, bro. On this account.
You're right, Shiva. Okay, probably not then I will hire. Not keen to go back to work TMR.
Yeah. Who else is streaming? Yeah, good old Medicar losing it in front of you. Dead. All right. Peace. Go say hello to the next person. Fuck off.